Well guys, it's of 2020, and you know what that means. We're in a global pandemic and everybody is quarantined, including myself. I don't really know a lot about what's going on, but that coronavirus guy sounds like a real jerk, huh? But regardless of how you're handling quarantine right now, I think everyone's gonna end up watching TV at some point. So I've been doing rigorous research on what the best thing to watch on TV right now is, and the results have finally come in.
Boo!
Are you serious? You picked anime?
I hate cartoons.
You're stupid. Anime.
I hate you.
Why?
Boo!
Why?
Anime sucks.
What you
Anime
think anime?
sucks.
Are
Anime
you
sucks.
serious?
Yeah, so I just wrote down the haters in my death note, and apparently that was enough to kill him. Either that or my antipsychotics are finally kicking in. So regardless on your opinion on the matter, the results say anime is the best thing to watch right now. But the problem is there are millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of different animes. So I've decided to save the world of this problem during the pandemic and filter out every single anime that isn't the definitive best one to binge watch. Now, before I'm crowned as the best superhero in the world, I need to do my job first. So before we start throwing anime in the bin, let's think about what kind of anime would and wouldn't work well for binge watching during an historical event. For starters, anime that are too short can't really be binged for that long, so that eliminates all the 12 and 24 episode animes that exist, along with a few others like Cowboy Bebop, Evangelion, Death Parade, No Game No Life, Samurai Champloo, Gurren Lagann, and a lot of other really good anime. And as good as all these anime are, I'm gonna have to give them a big F in the chat for being too short to binge watch during the quarantine. On the other side of the spectrum, animes that are intimidatingly long are also getting eliminated. Yeah, long shows are really good to watch during quarantine, but a lot of times shows can be too long. And since we're looking for the definitive best anime to binge watch and not just making a list of decent anime, I'm gonna go ahead and say that anime that are over 100 episodes are too long. Not because that's too many episodes to binge watch or anything, but just because we're looking for the perfect, ideal binge watching show. So One Piece, Naruto, Dragon Testicles, Bleach, and a bunch of others are gonna have to wait for another video to get talked about. So just to make a range for what I think is the ideal amount of episodes to binge, I'm gonna say around 40 to 100 episodes is a good range. So sorry Death Note, you're 3 episodes too short, but you should go watch that one too. Anyway, so what are some anime that fall into this episode range? Uh-oh. Well, it looks like there's more to binge-watchable animes than just the amount of episodes we have, so I guess we're gonna have to be more specific for our quest to find the perfect specimen for binge-watching anime. For starters, I'm gonna go ahead and say no anime with a blue hedgehog as the starting character, so that's gonna be Goodbye to Sonic X and a few other of those anime too, So just to name a few other standards I've suddenly developed for binge watching anime, I'm going to be looking at pacing of the story, excitement of the story, how immersive the world is, and art style too, because why not? First things first, I'm going to talk about My Hero Academia. There are a lot of opinions about this anime, but the main one I've consistently seen is that it takes a while for the story to get good, which sounds like the exact definition of bad pacing to me, which would make it hard to get into. So the anime about high schoolers learning powers is out of here. Oh wow, whoa, there were a lot of those, okay. Somehow the Mega Man Star Force anime fits the arbitrary categories I've put down so far, but I'm gonna assume most people don't like Mega Man the same way I do. I'm just saving this anime for myself. Another anime I've heard a lot of people really like is Hajime no Ippo,
Hajime no Ippo,
which is an anime about a dude who becomes a boxer. So when you initially think of a boxing anime, you wouldn't think it would be that good, but the characters in this anime are all really well written and interesting. But the problem lies with it being slightly stereotypical since it's a fighting shonen anime, who would have thought? And if you like that kind of thing, you'll definitely like this show, but it's kind of repetitive, and if you're binge watching something, it will feel more repetitive than it really is. And now that I've offended most of the fans of this 75 episode anime, it's time to offend the fans of this 74 episode anime called Monster. So Monster is actually a really good anime, and most people will tell you that regardless of if you wanted to know or not. But once again, the problem is in the pacing. While the anime as a whole is a really good story and is praised by its fans, people still point out the pacing of the show is slow sometimes, and normally that's something you could look past, but since we're looking for the perfect binge watching anime, we need one that's fast paced and interesting the entire time. I'm sure an anime most of you guys are thinking about being the perfect binge watching anime is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood or Full Metal Alchemist. But let's be honest, if I were to make this video just to say that the #1 rated anime on my anime list is the best anime to binge watch, that would be really redundant. And not only that, but I bet most of you have already seen it, so I really wouldn't even be helping anyone if that was the case. So just for that, I'm gonna have to eliminate it. Now I'm no old geezer, but what about Soul Eater, an anime I used to watch back when it came out in 2008 on Toonami. Every time Steve Blum introduced this show, it looked really cool, and I've always wanted to watch it, mostly due to the amazing art style it has, but the name is cool too, I guess. Soul Eater seems like it would be the perfect anime to binge with its 51 episodes and a 10 out of 10 art style, and a really good first episode to start out the story. But as the anime goes on, it starts to change its tone and take itself a little too seriously, which most people have trouble dealing with. This show show is definitely good, but it's still not the perfect one, unfortunately.
So when are you going to tell us that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is the best anime of all time?
Whoa, I thought my clozapine was supposed to last like a day or two, but no, Mr. Man, I hate to tell you, but JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is not the perfect anime.
You don't like JoJo's?
Well, everyone who wants me to say JoJo's is the best anime has already seen it, and everyone who hasn't seen it has already heard about it, and I really don't think this video is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back for the JoJo virgins out there.
Aw, are you serious? Boo! Boo! Boo!
Well, anyway, we've eliminated a lot of anime at this point, so that means we're a lot closer to finding the perfect one. Kuroko's Basketball. Bet you didn't expect that one, huh? This anime has 3 seasons and 75 episodes. If you couldn't tell, this anime is about basketball. But of course, it's high school students playing basketball because it's still an anime after all. The pacing is actually really good, and all the characters are well written and make you feel immersed and interested into this weird basketball superhero world. The art style also looks really cool, and the anime is really creative with how it portrays playing basketball. But the only problem is with this one, is not everybody likes basketball. Yeah, I know. I know it's weird to think that there are some people out there that don't like basketball, but there are a lot of people in the world. Well, significantly less than there were a month or two ago, but there's still enough people in the world to justify somebody not liking basketball. And honestly, I'd say this anime is even good for people who don't like basketball, but really I can't put myself in the headspace of somebody who doesn't like basketball, so just take that with a grain of salt. Anyway, I think we figured it out. The best anime to watch during quarantine is... Kaiji Ultimate Survivor, baby. 52 episodes of non-stop action, a unique and cool looking art style, story pacing on par with Death Note, and a world like no other anime I've ever seen. Yo, wait, couldn't you have just started the video by saying that? You know, since like, you do scripts for these videos? Yo, why are you ignoring me, vato? Are you talking? Your mouth isn't even moving. This has to be in my head. Yes, I'm talking to you, stupid! Stop dodging my questions! Yeah, I guess I could have, but I mean, that wouldn't have really been fun. Come on, man, you know why everybody clicked on this video? Would you rather me just talk about the anime that I'm trying to get people to watch for 10 minutes without spoiling it the whole time? No, man, you should just make a 1-minute video saying it's Kaiji and explaining why it would be a good anime as opposed to other ones. Yo, wait, just shut up. You're literally a dog. You are literally a dog. Shut up. Hey, come on, man, that's uncalled for. It really ain't. I have no reason to listen to you. You don't even watch YouTube. You're a dog. Yes, I do. I be watching Sniper Wolf, Pokimane, Belle Delphine. I mean, they're hotter than a $2 pistol. You feel me, Holmes? I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, I can't just tell you guys what the best anime to binge watch is without explaining myself a little bit. So before you click away from the video, just hear me out. Kaiji isn't just some random anime that happened to fit all these arbitrary standards I made up, by the way. It's a hidden gem, and I actually don't know anyone who has seen it and doesn't like it. For those who don't know, Kaiji is a dude who has an anime named after him but is unaware of it. One of his friends has a several million yen debt to the Yakuza and mysteriously disappeared, and Kaiji is the one who has to pay the debt now. But because he makes minimum wage and has no hope of paying it off anytime soon, the Yakuza offer him a chance to pay it off all in one night by gambling with other people who are also in major debt to the Yakuza. I'm not going to spoil what happens or anything, but the entire anime is a huge roller coaster ride the whole way through. There are multiple life-threatening, insane tasks Kaiji has to go through that I've never seen anything like before. The main appeal with this anime, other than the really well done pacing of the story, is just how unique it is. The characters in this anime and the situations Kaiji finds himself in are like no other I've ever seen in anime or in anything period. Kaiji is really exciting to watch the entire way through, and every time you finish an episode, the only thing on your mind is wanting to go ahead and watch the next one just to see what happens. Also, the art style is really unique. Some people don't like it because they think it looks goofy, but like... Picasso is famous, so I don't know about all that. The thing most people immediately notice is Kaji's big nose, and a lot of other characters' big noses actually. And my YouTuber friend Yourbead actually has a really well made video on just Kaji's art style and how it's more than what you would initially think it might be. So I highly recommend checking out that video. But there are spoilers, so you should subscribe to him and watch the video after you watch Kaiji. Anyway, like I said, I think Kaiji is the best binge watching anime, especially during this quarantine pandemic we're going through right now. And I know a lot of people are going to comment animes that I didn't say were number 1 that I should have talked about, or animes that I did talk about that I didn't make number 1, but